Welcome to the second annual Ruth Hartley Mosley Women's Center Authors and Painters Fundraiser, hosted by the staff of the Ruth Hartley Mosley Center and attorney Roy Miller. This was truly a wonderful event, a meeting of minds of intellectuals of both authors and painters, one of the best of 2025. Thank you for everyone that was able to participate, and we hope that you enjoy our wrap-up video.
Hello, and I am Roy Miller, attorney Roy Miller, the author of Story of a Dreamer, my diary of inspirational considerations, and Eat It Moon. And today I wanted to read The Moon is the story of a young black lady. She's blind, but she comes from a family history of a lot of turmoil, but she succeeds at the end. But what I'm going to read now is actually her grandfather, who was always up to something. He had caused trouble at the carnival, and now he's trying to get away. He stole a wagon, and he has his family, his wife, his 2 children on the wagon, and this is where it goes. He's running out of town, and the buggy crashes. That is when the buggy crashed. It didn't look good at all day. All 4 of them lay on the ground. No one was moving at all until Sayers and Frida Mae started moving and got up. Sayers is the granddad. Frida Mae was badly injured and could not walk. As luck would have it, Sayers was not injured at all. Little Frida Mae started crying, "Mom, Elijah!" Sayers called for Elijah to get up, and he begged for Rebecca to get up. That was his wife. Sayers was boo-hooing and looking as though he was crying, but it was really crocodile tears. Like a flash of lightning struck nearby, and Sayers instantly shut up. "Lord, I didn't mean that," he said. "Lord, I didn't mean it." And the lady that had been following Miss Gladys, she saw what was happening and arrived and saw that Rebecca and Elijah was on the ground. It comes from a sad beginning, but this book, it goes through a little sadness, but in the end is victory for little Frida Mae yet to come. You can get my book through online from Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, and a whole lot of other places, Target, Walmart. And I hope you get it. Eat It Moon by attorney Roy Miller. I would appreciate everyone that orders the book.
Alrighty. Well, hello, my name is Clarence Thomas Jr., and I am the author of this children's book entitled My Little Light. And My Little Light actually was inspired by a 2007 Sister City trip to Elmina, Ghana, West Africa, with our first black mayor, the Honorable Mayor C. Jack Ellis's last year in office. Quiet as it's kept, Macon has 6 sister cities, and he gave us 3, including Elmina, Ghana, West Africa. And so I was blessed to accompany him on that trip in 2007. And it left such an indelible mark on me that week that we were there that I had to share it in some kind of way and bridge that experience from Africa to here. And so in Black History Month of 2008, the Most High came to me and said, do a children's book, because children's books are easily accessible, they're universal, and people really love and appreciate a good children's book. It's included in especially children. On the cover is our 8-year-old hero. His name is Malik, which means king in Swahili. Let's read a few, the beginning of My Little Light. It says, up in the morning after a good long night, look outside, see the sunlight. Open that window, open it wide, get ready, get set, go on outside. And as you can see, the illustrations are amazing. They are done by Francesco Polite, who's a Hawaii-based artist. Now, we're off and running, and Malik's adventure has officially begun. We hope that you invest in this book. You can get it on Amazon in a hard copy or a Kindle format for $19.99, or from me directly, the author, an autographed copy from me, the author. So again, I'm Clarence Thomas Jr., the CEO and founder and owner of Visionary Communications here in Macon, and the author of my debut, my children's book, which debuted this past fall, My Little Light. And I want to say in closing that we are honored and privileged, and we thank Attorney Leroy Miller for thinking it not robbery himself to put this event together on behalf of the Ruth Hartley Mosley Memorial Women's Center. Thank you, Attorney Miller, and God bless.
I came to Mercer University in 2001 and began as basically as the director of the English Language Institute. And then I came along the World Trade Center and all of that goes with it. And so I ended up teaching in the College of Professional Advancement at Mercer. And they changed my life. I was a German teacher, and I taught at three historically black universities, and at Tulane University before I came to Mercer, as well as Georgetown University. But when I came, I was teaching a course in the literature of the South, and this lady on my right was from this second book. The first Regeneration book is sold out, so I didn't have copies to bring today. But I want just to read a little bit, and this is by the editor of the first book, Terry DeFleur. She says, a writer writes. An honest writer displays his or her heart for inspection, and there isn't much that is braver than that. Within the pages of this journal are many displays of such bravery. Reading the works within this collection provides the opportunity to contemplate viewpoints from varying positions in the landscape of the human experience and to listen to authentic voices. You may laugh at the antics of hens and goats or chipmunks in a mattress. You may be sad watching a family break apart or a little boy miss his mama. You may get angry at the injustice of those who try so hard and still haven't gotten there. You may discover something about yourself and the way you may have treated others in the past, as I did. The offerings here are not just about reading for entertainment. They're about giving voice to a variety of writers. Honest writing is about throwing off fear and allowing growth. Honest reading is about the very same thing, setting aside your own closely guarded binoculars and picking up somebody else's. Giving these opportunities to writers and readers is what regeneration is all about. Thank you.
Miller, and I'm a folk artist here in Macon, Georgia. My medium is really like acrylic, found objects, and recycled materials. I'm working on some pieces that is going to be featured in my solo show, my second solo show at the 567 Center of Renewal that's on 456 First Street. And the name of my solo show is called Poker Face. May the 2nd from 5 to 8, and I will be doing a artist talk at 7. So you really artist talk at 7, because on my artist talk there will be poetry along with some of the pieces that I have. These are just some pieces that I like to give. I like to put lace on them. Why I leave it blank? I want the words to come from your heart and not mine. But I may not know that person that the card goes to. So I leave it blank so it can come from the person's heart. I hope they be inspired more of the outside so they can like the inside. And that's the reason why I do it. So I love laces. And I also like to put little stuff on them. And this is my favorite one. Macon Magazine, I just found out that I was the first Black illustrator ever been on the cover of Macon Magazine. And That's really good. That was really exciting because I did a piece about a slave that was from Macon, Georgia, and she escaped. And I thought that it would have been amazing just to use her as a courageous and a brave woman. You can contact me at Facebook, on Facebook as Rhonda Sunshine Miller, or you can contact me on Instagram, Rhonda Sunshine Miller. Or you could just Google me, Rhonda Miller, the folk artist from Macon, Georgia.
So thank you.
Hello, I am Harold Michael Harvey. I am the author of a number of books, about 7 of them. The book that I have with me today is Fantasy 5, An Improbable History. This book is about the election of the first 5 Black council members to the Macon, Georgia City Council. A race to elect these members took place in 1974, the summer of 74. So we're coming up on the 50th anniversary of the first year that they took office, and that would have been 1975 in January. And so this December, we plan to host a celebratory event to celebrate the first 5 members, the 50th anniversary of the first 5 members elected to the City Council. Those 5 members were Dolores Brooks, Julius Vinson, Willie C. Hill, Vernon Colbert, Julius Vinson, and Reverend Eddie D. Smith when these 5 members were elected. And of course, all of the changes and the progress that we see in Macon today is as a result of the city now receiving input and representation from all members and segments of the community. So you can purchase a copy of Fantasy 5 at the Tubman African American Museum here in Macon, Georgia, and at the Golden Bough Bookstore down on 2nd Street here in Macon, Georgia. Thank you so much.
And I'm honored to speak on behalf of a children's book that was written actually by my son and illustrated by my granddaughter, who experienced the story of Mr. Tuck and the 13 heroes at an earlier time in their lives, and thought that they would enjoy telling this story in a children's form to reach a wider audience about an issue that was then and still is very prevalent in our time. I'll read the opening lines of the book as an illustration. Now, but there was a time in our country's history when white children and black children could not go to school together. That was a long time ago. They can go to school together now. But the problem that resulted in that circumstance is still with us in many ways. Mr. Tuck and the 13 Heroes is a story about one brave and courageous school principal who was willing for his school to be an experiment in the integration of the education system. And the story goes with the 13 children who were willing to start that experiment. And they went through it together, and this story is told. It has a very touching and moving ending that I will not read for you because it needs to be a surprise. And so I invite you to consider the book, Mr. Tuck and the 13 Heroes, as a resource that would be good for children of all ages in our time and place.
Hello, I am Shannon Stafford Amos, and I'm here to share with you about my new book, Declare and Decree Emotions and Feelings. It's actually a book that teaches us how to declare and decree and take authority over your emotions. And with so many people that's challenged with anxiety and all the different social things that they're being attacked with during this season, dedicated this book to the people that are struggling with their emotions. So remember that you are never alone. You are never ever alone. No matter what you're feeling like, no matter what you're hearing, what voices you're hearing, you're not by yourself. The Lord told us he'll never leave us nor forsake us. So join me, read the book, get the book, and decree and take authority over your emotions. And at this moment, I bind the spirit of suicidal ideation. Whoever's watching this, you will not commit suicide. You shall live and not die. I join in faith with you. I believe that every single family, no matter what you're facing, you too are graced to be victorious. Thank you so much. And if you need to contact me, you can go to familiesofvictory.org, or you can leave a voicemail, 770-1952. I'm Dr. Shannon Stafford Amos, the Director of Family Services with Families of Victory. Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Cynthia Marsh Harvey. My book is called Callie's Family. The subtitle is A Brief History of the Marsh McWhorter Family. This book I wrote about my family because I wanted us to have a record of who we were on our way to becoming who we are. And the aim also was to remind many of us and others of us of the rich and proud history of the Marsh family. In 20th century Walker County, there were two prominent black families named Marsh. Mostly enslaved men who became pillars of society in the segregated area. To America in 1730. They started in Delaware. Some of them moved then to Virginia. Others moved to South Carolina, and then into Georgia. These were our people. My book can be purchased actually through our publishing company, Cascade Publishing, and you can really reach that at HMichaelHarvey@HaroldMichaelHarvey.com, who is my husband and author. Or you can call us at 404-771-0577. But that's Callie's Family, the Marsh McWhorter family.
Hi, I'm Whitney. I'm an artist from Macon. Today at the Ruth Hartley Center, this is what I'm doing is in plein air painting, and what it does is it's like I'm imitating what a camera does. So I'm taking a picture with my eyes, and it's a very slow process. We're about halfway done here. And what inspires me and what I think about is the beautiful light and shadows. The people will be after I get the background of the building. I'll put the people in the foreground and start putting a lot more yellows and lighter values. I will do not only plein air, but studio paintings, portraits, and all kinds of different things. So you can, if you're interested in a live plein air painting, or a live painting of any kind, gesture paintings too, at an event, my number is 478-739-7494, and I'm on social media, Whitney Bennett. I'm from Macon. I've been pretty much studying art as a hobby since I was 3. And it's a wonderful way. This hobby has changed my life. And I do event. This is my second event this month for live painting. I love it. And what else can I say? I start with dark and then go to dark to light. So this is a very interesting process. I have hundreds of videos of me painting all over Macon in this style, and video the whole boring thing, but it's not boring to me. because this 6 hours is going to feel like 5 minutes. A lot of times, and I'm looking at a blue and there's some red in there. And there's a lot of things to think about as I'm painting. This blue is going to bring out the orange and the shadows. And once I get this in, I'll start working on the warm to complement that. As far as the values and the colors. So there's a lot of shade right here. And then when I come in with the orange light right here, it's really going to intensify this color.
2, 3. Good morning. My name is Andrea D. Jenkins, and I am the author of the book entitled A Joint Effort, Life After Hip Implant Recall. Now let me tell you why I wrote this book. You know, as a businesswoman, you don't think about having to go into the hospital. You don't think about scheduling time for surgery. Well, guess what happened with me? All of that changed. I didn't schedule anything. My body took a turn and said, let me tell you what's happening. So I had hip implant recalls. My hips were really deteriorating. And what happened is those implants had been banned in a certain country. Losing control. Says after the constant talks my dad had with me and the worry and concern my mother had, I finally came to the decision that I would stop working and schedule the surgery that was needed. I was able to make this decision about scheduling my surgery, but again, I thought I was going to be in control. Little did I know I was not in control. In my mind and on paper, my surgery was scheduled. I was only going to be out for 2 weeks. I gave myself 2 weeks time to heal so I could get back up and get busy. It didn't happen that way. So sometimes you have to listen to your body. Writing can be therapeutic, being strength, a source of encouragement for others to see your journey. So I share my journey in a joint effort because I didn't get through this journey on my own. It was truly a joint effort by my family and my friends. You can contact me, again, Andrea D. Jenkins. My number is 478-297-7601. And I can also be found on social media, Andrea D. Jenkins. Don't let trauma stop you. You take control, just as I did. A joint effort. Life without hip implant recall. Amazon.com. You can purchase your copy today.
And I really enjoy cherry blossom time here in Macon in Middle Georgia. I want to say it was in 2021, maybe something like that. I did win the postcard to introduce the Pink Poodle Cherry Blossom Festival for 567 Gallery, which was beautiful artwork. I just have so many fond memories of being at Cherry Blossom, so I paint them often just because. But I just want to let you know, if you're ever interested in artwork for your business or your personal enjoyment, that's when you commission me. So a commission is basically asking me to pay for you. At that point, I do consult. You pay a deposit artwork once it's completed, but we also have a time frame for that. That will work great for you, like if you are planning something special for a holiday, family, or you just want to, I do portraits as well, so if you want a portrait or artwork, that can transcend it for your business, or if you just want to have some cool artwork. You know, I do a lot of different styles, so I'm not in a box of sorts or anything, and I'm open for any suggestions that you have for art, but I do have to have creative freedom. I can't work without having some type of creative freedom, right? So that's important to me. And if it's something that I feel that I'm not good for, I do have a lot of artist friends that I can recommend to. And for you business, in your personal life, I also do face painting. So if you have an event, birthday party, we'll work it out. Just let it be in advance, and I'll show up, and I'm normally there for 2 hours. You can book me, and I can paint anything, so you don't have to have a box. Sometimes people don't have an idea, and I let the kids just freely ask me, and I do that as well. So
Give us your number and email address and website to get in contact with you.
Okay, if you want to contact me at my Gmail is Meka, MEKA 232 at gmail.com, and my social websites are Euphoria Art Blog on Facebook, Euphoria Art Blog, and then there's F.A. Bussy on Instagram, and also I think it's Euphoria Art Blog on TikTok as well, where you see my artwork. My life is basically public because I ask you to follow my art and my random purpose.
Pastor Cheryl Finney from Juliet, Georgia. My church is St. Paul Christian Community Church out of Juliet, Georgia, where the fried green tomatoes at. If you ever been to the fried green tomato, we right around the corner on East Redding Road. I wrote a book called Life After Death, Finding Purpose Through Pain. It's in honor of my late husband, Joseph A. Finney Sr. He had diagnosed with throat cancer, never smoked or drank. And on this journey, we realized as a caregiver that being a caregiver is a lot entail of doing that. It's a selfless act. You cannot pay for being a caregiver. And so we wanted to start something to give back to the caregivers, and we started a foundation in honor of caregivers and their loved ones. We give scholarship to the caregivers' family. We also, in December, we do an annual fundraiser for caregivers, and we ask people to nominate their caregivers, and we choose 10 caregivers, and we show them a nice time to give back to them to show how much we appreciate them. And the foundation is Wings of Words of Hope. And I also started a community center called Joseph A. Finney Senior Community Center. It's Read to Lead. We need to get reading back into our families in the community, sitting down at the kitchen table instead of on the laptops and computers. We need to get our kids back to reading. Thought that I would be a pastor of a church, but through this purpose, through this pain, I find my purpose, as He called me to be the pastor. It's my way of giving people hope, reminding them that even through pain, something good can come from it. Pain and grief are a powerful force, and we all have a choice in how we respond to them. They can either destroy us or emotionally or motivate us. I made the decision to let my pain fuel me, pushing me to help others who are battling terminal illness and those who care for their loved ones. On this journey, I realized the importance of having a personal relationship with God. It was in the midst of my pain that I drew closer to Him. In the darkest times, we find purpose, and that purpose can transform lives, starting with their own. And you can find this book on Amazon or ebook. Thank you.
Hello, I am Dr. Janet Lamar with Queen Esther Mega Networks, located right here in the middle of Georgia, but we are also a mobile organization. What I want to do is talk about one of the several books that I've written, and this book is very, very dear to my heart, and it's called The Birthing of Hannah, the Hannah Experience, Provoked to Birth Destiny. And I know that may sound like, really, what? Provoked to birth destiny, what does that mean? Well, like many women that go through the bearing stage, and I'm not talking about bearing from the point of giving birth in the natural. I'm talking about giving birth to your vision and to your dream. When everybody else around you, things are happening, it seems like they're popping up from all over the world, and the things that they can imagine has actually come to pass. But it seems like you, as that great visionary, that great dreamer, that person that has all this creativity just bogged in inside of you, you're trying to figure out, well, when is my time? When is my opportunity? When is someone going to notice me? And why can't I make this thing happen? This book is my story. And what I do, I make a contrast between a woman that's going through the 3 trimesters of a birth and also the 3 trimesters of life. And also for me, all of this energy and all of this creativity, I'm like, God, who wants what I have? Why is it taking so long for me to reach that plateau that I know that you've commissioned for me to be? Not only that, God, where are the people thing? Because everything that I do, it provoked me to birth. So you got to get in the right position. You got to have the right mindset. And then last of all, you got to do what? You got to do what? You got to release it and give it over to God. I encourage you to get the Hannah Experience, Provoke to Birth Destiny. This again has been none other than Dr. J. Lamar with Queen Esther Mega Networks. And I promise you, our theme and our motto is this: networking is the key to global growth and global expansion. Again, the Hannah Experience, Provoke to Birth Destiny. Go to my website right now, thefuturesofourfamilies.org, and you'll get a full read-up of how this actually came to pass. You can actually call me, 706-980-7901. Let me say it one more time, just in case you went to go get a pen. Thefuturefamilies.org. The contact number, 706-980-7901. In case you are savvy on social media, just go and like me at Dr. J. Lamar on Facebook. And I promise you, your life will never be the same. God bless you, and I love you. And guess what? You have been provoked to birth destiny.
Hi, my name is Phyllis Tufts Hightower, and I am the author of 10 Keys to Avoid Debt, the Devil's Evil Borrowing Trap. And that's an acronym for debt. This book is born out of my desire to make sure that one of my passions for financial security and financial healing and financial literacy was shared with many other people. And so I wrote this book as a practical tool to help people learn to manage their finances. And so for me, my experience of an accidental journey of finding out that I had saved some pennies in a patent leather pocketbook many years ago allowed me to pay for a Cinderella watch that I saw in a drugstore in my hometown when I was about 8 years old. And so when I discovered that I had saved almost enough to buy the watch, I started saving more pennies, because I found out that when you save, you can buy what you want. And so from that point on, I used that simple concept throughout my entire life, that rather than borrow, I could save and buy the things I want. I was able to buy my first car when I was in college. I paid $1,000 for my first car that I bought from a family member. And throughout my life, that had been the way I've handled my finances, and I wanted to share it with everyone. And so I'm really proud that this has manifested itself into this book, and I want to share it with everyone, and it's available everywhere books are sold online. And so I really hope that everyone will go out and purchase this book. It's an easy read, and I love talking about how we can be financially literate, how we can manage our finances in a way that put us in a position to succeed and not fail. So thank you so much, and I hope you go out and purchase this book.
Hi, my name is Sharon Young, and I'm the author of Selfless Choices, a mother's determined pursuit to educate her son. And this book came about to me as a necessity. I felt like the neighborhood that we lived in, the surrounding schools were something to be not to be desired, And so I began to look for avenues in which to educate my son at a young age. He was about 4. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to read directly from the book. It gives you more of an idea of what the book is about and some of the challenges that one would face. Selfless Choices raises the awareness of education options afforded to our children, as it offers encouragement and empowers the reader to educate their children more adequately. So you can find the book at, I have it in the Tubman Museum. I have a website, SharonYoungWriter.com. It's on GoDaddy. And I'm also on social media under Sharon Young. The book is also, you can purchase it through Barnes & Nobles and or Amazon as well. Okay.
The event concluded with popular local artist Whitney Bennett donating a wonderful painting of the Ruth Hartley Women's Mosley Center. What a wonderful conclusion.
Hello, I'm Crystal Allen, and this is my first book. It is a book of devotion, a single mother's book of devotion, and this book is basically encouraging to single mothers. It could be any parent just raising children, just to remind that mother that you're not alone, and to basically you're still building that foundation up with the Lord. My book journey was a real one. I definitely journeyed every day. It was real life situations, challenges as a mother, and I find myself relying and having a foundation of God being my strength, because we need that. And then sometimes with all the chaos that goes on as a parent, we almost lose ourselves because we're so tied up in our children. So my book is just to help and inspire and let that mother know that she's not alone. The Lord, your support system, you don't have to suffer alone. You don't have to suffer in silence. So I just want to inspire the women, inspire that auntie, that cousin, that young mother. And this is really good right now for Mother's Day as a little gift, a little token, a little sweet something that you can have in your morning devotion, just to remind you. You can find this book on Amazon. You also can reach out to me. I'm on Facebook. You can even email me at crystala214@gmail.com, or text me, send me a message at 478-538-1791. And I just will reach out to me, let me know. This is the first of a second book, so more to come. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sherry King, and I am the author of Girls, Pearls, and Black Eyed Peas. And today, sister, it's time to talk about it. Let's talk about what hurted us. We'll talk about things that we couldn't talk about growing up. Girls, Pearls, and Black Eyed Peas is about rebuilding the self and rebuilding the village. And help me get dressed for school and kiss me on my forehead, telling me you love me as you see me off on the school or the corner, instead of you standing down the block, anxiously waiting to turn back home to get to bed. Mama, keep me close when we walk to the store, as the guys are on the street corner trying to distract you, only to look at me. As I grab your hand and you look down at me, you pull me close to you and hurry along. Mama, keep me close when you go to Auntie's house and you sit out back, drinking and dancing, leaving me in the house with them other folks who tell me to come play in the bedroom while they begin to bad touch me, making me bad touch them. I snatch away and run to you. Mama, I want to go home. You look at me and pull me close to you and we leave. You remembered you crying out to your mama, but she pushed you away and told you not to come back outside until she came to get you. And your mama let them get you. Now we're at Tandy's birthday party. Mama, see us having fun with our friends. Mama, how are you going to watch us when you're over there playing cards and drinking? Come play with us. Mama, put your phone down and stay close to us. Mama, please keep us and watch over us. Reach out to me. My books are on Amazon. I have 2 journals. The first one is Plan, Pray, and Prosper. And the other one is Journey to Flourish. And you all can find me on Amazon and Facebook at Sherry King. Thank you.
Brett Eskew's class, and I was one of the students that wanted her to teach creative writing. I'm going to read from a book by April Cantrell, Writing for Healing. My internship was at Central State Hospital, which was a very harsh learning experience for me. I'll read a segment of my story. The February wind cut through me as I walked across the parking lot to the looming old building. I'd never been in an institution, and I was immediately overwhelmed by the noise and the smells. I had to thread my way through an obstacle course of patients to reach the office to check in with the head nurse. I introduced myself, and she asked me to walk with her, and she abruptly gave me instructions. You'll be working in the women's wing. There are a few basic things you'll need to remember. Don't get too close to the large lady in the corner. Once she grabs you, she won't let you go. If someone is bleeding, bang on the glass, and we'll send someone in. We don't have time to babysit you. Do you understand? It was quite an eye-opening experience for me. For Healing, Stories of Formative Events by April Cantrell. It's a collection of stories about wellness writing.